Ciao a tutti. Good afternoon. Uh, Looking forward to completing my mini tour here in the heartland. Started off with in Michigan with Vanessa, with Great Lakes, that transitioned from a on-premise position to an off-premise position statewide with contacts throughout the United States. So it's good to talk to her to see how things were going in Michigan and how her contacts were doing around the United States. I talked to Stephen Coates last week with Standard Beverage in Kansas City, who I've known from Colorado. And now I'm really excited to talk to Chef Dana Downs, a celebrity chef that I met in Dayton, Ohio many years ago. So I'm going to bring her online right now. We're going to talk about how things have been going with her. Hello, chef.
How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Great, thank you. We're hanging in there. We're doing what we do.
Doing what? It's now 5 o'clock. Are the doors open to the restaurant already?
They just opened. It's restaurant week, so we've been really, really busy, and super excited for a great night. They actually kicked me out of the restaurant because they're like, "We need these seats." So I'm upstairs in the office, and it's a lot quieter up here, anyway. So
Well, that's great. Congratulations having such a successful kickoff. Did it
yeah.
start today or start off on Monday?
Well, we were closed Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
So yeah, so last night was the first night, and it was great. Lots of carryouts, lots of good stuff. So
Nice. Well, I'm going to ask you about what's on the restaurant week menu in a minute. But before I do, I just want to introduce you. So I met you, gosh, almost 10 years ago, I believe. You're in Dayton, Ohio, probably the cutest street in Dayton, Ohio. And what I did was every time I travel, I get a little report from who's a customer of Batasiolo. And I had a great day with Kara, I believe, that day. And she said, you know what? Don't have an opportunity to go talk to her today, but she's a great customer if you have a chance. Plus the food is great. So I'm like, oh, well, sold. So I swung by without letting you know. I had dinner at the bar, and you were very gracious. You came out and said hello, and we started talking from there. And we did a great wine together a couple years back, and it's been great getting to hang out with you and being. I'm so appreciative that you're still a customer of Batasiolo.
oh no, absolutely. I have your Lang Nebbiolo right now. So
Great minds, great minds. Yeah,
hey,
I gotta pour mine.
there you go. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, one of my favorites from the family. It's their youngest vines in Nebbiolo, so it tends to be one of the more elegant wines that they do, and
Beautiful.
especially when it's not you don't want to drink something like Barolo every night. You got Nebbiolo to enjoy,
I,
so that's a great choice.
I got that one for later. So we got that one for later.
Nice. You know how to do it. I like it. I
Yeah,
like
if
it.
you're gonna do it, you got to do it right.
So you are the chef owner of Roost. Is it Roost Modern Italian or Roost
Yeah,
Italian? What's the
it's modern Italian.
Roost Modern Italian? So, give me a little bit more of an introduction to yourself. I know that you started off in the kitchen when you were quite young and got in love with the idea and then just really pursued it as a passion. But, give me some more background to who Chef Dana Downs is.
So I got into the kitchen basically through an Italian chef, through soccer. So he and I played some pretty high level soccer together, and ended up one night he called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." It's a Friday night. I was at that time kind of a Monday through Friday, kind of 9 to 5er, and he's like, "I really need a dishwasher," and I'm like, "Well, that's cute. Like, oh, I don't know anybody, so." But I ended up, he sweet talked me into going and helping him, and I worked my tail off. And when I was bringing out dishes, I'm like carrying out dishes, the clean dishes that I did. He's out there like we are right now, like, "Oh, my friend," and drinking wine and all, having all this fun. And I was like, "Hold on a minute,
And
you
you're working,
I'm
you're hustling.
sweating, I'm just crazy." And I was like, after the fact, I was like, "Help me understand. Help me understand why I'm sweating and crazy, busy, and you're having." He said, "You don't." He said, "People come into your restaurant. It's like having a party at your house every single night, and you get to talk to them, and they want to spend time with you, and you get to maybe have a antipasto with them, and then you go and make them a nice dinner and have some wine, and or maybe a little limoncello or something like that, and that's what builds the relationships that always build your business." And I was like, "That sounds amazing." And he's like, "Do you know how to cook?" And I was like, No, I'm really kind of a culinary orphan. I always tell people that my mom and my stepmom that the best things that they make for dinner is reservations, which is still to this day true. So he basically got me started, and I kind of fell in love with it, and then I actually ended up being pretty good at it, and just decided that I wanted to be a restaurateur. Went to culinary school, got a business degree as well.
Smart. A lot of people only think about the cooking side and don't think about it being a business.
Yeah, I like the cooking side, but I really love the business side. Granted, right now in a pandemic, it's not the most fun, but I do like that side of it. Um, it's interesting. If you do it right, you can really provide a really nice product, an amazing service, and be able to make money at it and have fun at the same time, which is a lot of people can't say that when they go to work every day. So yeah, so we've opened Roost. It's going to be 10 years in November, so hanging in there, doing well. It's been tough with the pandemic, but everyone's going through the same thing in the world. So that's in a way oddly comforting that you're not the only one going through, a hard time. So.
Yeah, well, tell me about the particulars. Like, how's it been in Dayton? How's it been in Ohio? Have every state's been having, and every county has been having different mandates as to what you can and can't do. What's it been like? Take me briefly through the last year, what you've been able to and not been able to do.
Well, I think it was March 15th of 2020 is when basically the inside dining was all shut down. We were able to do carryouts. We took 2 weeks and said, okay, what are we going to do? What we did was, previously, when I had a catering company right before I opened Roost, and we had a little operation at a farmer's market, and it was kind of like build your own pasta kind of dish, Chipotle service type menu.
Cool.
And very popular, and it's reasonably cost, and just kind of like everything was basically to go. So what we did is we ended up, pop-up shops are very popular right now. We ended up doing a pop-up shop pasta bar as our carry-out only through the whole entire quarantine. And it was very popular. And, it was, at that time, we didn't know exactly how much carry-out we were going to be doing. So ordering in and putting scallops in a box and fillets and all that stuff, I was like bringing it in and not knowing what's happening. It was like, that's a little bit of a high dollar inventory to bring in for a risk. So we ended up doing that, and it was, people loved it. There was a lot of people like, oh, I remember when you were back at the farmer's market. So it worked out really well. But I tell you what, people were like, are you enjoying yourself? And I was like, I cannot wait to put beautiful food on a plate and not in a box. Not that it wasn't beautiful, but scallops, and we really focus a lot on seafood, and that's really why I put modern in front of Italian, because around here, we've got really nice Italian restaurants that don't focus on seafood. And it's so much of the Italian cuisine that I was like, how do we differentiate it? So people say, well, what's different with you than with all the other, big Italian names? So that's why we did it. And it's worked out. We saw a ton of seafood, and I love it. Never thought
most places. Sorry?
I never thought I'd have a restaurant that really focused on seafood other than just fresh pastas and whatnot. So very fortunate for that.
Yeah, most places in Italy are less than 2 hours away from the ocean, because a lot of people don't realize that it's such a thin country that except for the central top, it's
surrounded.
Well, cool. That's awesome. Was there anywhere in Italy that drew your inspiration more than others as you were planning the menu and going through?
As because drawing seasonally. As far as the products that we can get from the different farms and such, we decided that depending on the weather outside, we would basically, when it's cold out, we'd be focused on northern cuisine and then just work our way down into Sicily when it was hot out. So it's kind of a natural way to think about it for me.
That's cool.
So we do all over. We do all over, and I love it.
So I'm guessing you had to spend a year sabbatical in Italy, starting in the winter in Piemonte, and then working your way down to Sicily, but at least, and then working your way back up again when it got cool.
Yeah, I never got that much. So what happened was that when I decided to go to culinary school, I was still working for that Italian chef, and then I could never get any time off to do that. So
and now that you're on your own boss, you never give yourself time off. So
yeah, exactly. If I I would love it, and that's the plan. That's the plan here next year. Get past all this COVID and be able to spend some time.
Let me put the address on the screen there so everybody can know where you are in Dayton. To me, it's just a really cute street. Describe the street a little bit as I put the address and the website up.
So it's right downtown Dayton. It is in the historic Oregon district. Been around here for a very, very long time. The revitalization of Dayton. Yeah, we're there right near 35, say around 35 and 75 downtown Dayton. But it's a super cute little area. Amazing shops, all just, new business owners, small business, really hustling, really bringing out some locally made arts, crafts, but then some really fun kind of nouveau stuff. Lots of art galleries around here, bars, restaurants. So it's nice. It's definitely a lot of foot traffic, probably 4 times more foot traffic than anywhere around here, definitely, if not more than 4.
Let me see if I can get a street view of it.
Yeah.
Not the library.
No, that's not.
That's not it. It went. Google went crazy on me.
Let me see if I can text you a picture. Nope, that's not it.
No. All right, let me go back to here so we can see it better. There we go.
Let me see if I can pull one up here real quick for you.
So here's the entrance to the street, right? Right over here?
To the street, right there. Actually, straight ahead, that's a bar next to it. So we're the actual taller building up here on the left. To the right of the trolley stop, which is a great place. Just there on the left. Back up. Yeah, zoom out a little bit. You got to go back down the street.
Yep. I know.
A little bit
it's right here to the right, right?
Nope. We're right between the two.
Shoot. I should have practiced. I thought I practiced this earlier, but doing it on a different screen.
You got to go back where you came from.
Back to the right?
Yep. Back behind you. Down there. Go straight. Straight down that street right there. On the right side. Keep going.
There it is.
There it is. So on the right.
Alrighty.
The 3-story building, and then this single story on the right is the addition that we put on. So that's
so this is updated, right?
That's 5 years old. That's brand
That's 5 years old.
5 years old. And then the 3-story building on the left, the yellow, that is 1890.
Cool.
Yeah.
I knew it had some age on it. I didn't realize it was 2 centuries ago at this point.
Yeah. That is, it's crazy. So, we did the expansion, basically added another dining room. That used to be on the right side. The single story used to be basically just like a poured concrete patio.
Right.
There was no roof on it. So what I did was ended up turning it into a room that has a big garage door that opens up to that private entrance, that little hallway right there. And then added a big bar, and then added what's called the dough room, which is a private room that was mostly made for when we make our pastas and pastries and whatnot. But now, with social distancing, we've turned it into a private dining room and really redid it. So it's less kitchen-like, and it's kind of very cozy. It's a beautiful room. Beautiful.
Fantastic. Very cool. I love to hear when everybody's coming up with new plans and concepts and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So that brings me to my next point. Most people, when they found out in February, March, there was a pandemic coming down, maybe they took some time off, they went golfing, they played tennis. I don't know if you noticed, I wore this shirt for you, the Tennis Hall of Fame, played soccer or whatever. You went out and bought a horse trailer. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I did. My wife thought I was really crazy. I said, hey, I'm going to buy this horse trailer. And she was like, I know that you're really stressed. I know that things are really kind of crazy, but we don't have any horses. And I don't think it's a good idea. And I was like, no, you don't understand. We're going to turn it into a bar. And she was like, that sounds amazing. Let's go get it. So that's what we did. So the two of us during this time ended up, that's a great picture down there. Ended up turning this horse trailer into a bar where we have one side of the horse trailer, we put basically a big service window that services all the customers in the street, because what they started doing last year, they did a pilot program called Out on Fifth. And we had 48 seats. Everybody was social distance. It was nice. So that's 3 of my employees inside the horse trailer at one. Get the scale of how massive it was. So every Friday morning at 8 o'clock, I would pull that in there, and then we would pull it out Monday morning at 8 o'clock. And it would be the main bar for 48 seats in the street. So we had a nice little outdoor, street cafe-esque kind of look to it. Plus, we had this amazing service bar. It had its own Wi-Fi. We had its own point of sale.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Like, it was tricked out.
So this wasn't a pony trailer. This was a horse trailer. Like, this is serious.
Two horse trailer. Yeah, it was big time. So it also served, because they started doing open container, which is DORA, designated outdoor refreshment area. We would sell the DORA to the public on the one side of the horse trailer that didn't have the seats for our customers, and then on the side with the customers, we had our service bar, so the servers would come up and get their drinks and then go
nice
to his house. It was pretty standalone operation on the street. They would just have food runners that come from the kitchen, and then that horse trailer, it was a game changer for us. It took an average time to get a cocktail or a glass of wine. Look at that cute baby.
Well, I can only imagine, like, not only for, like, I'm sure, anniversaries, and, like, 'cause it looks so romantic, especially with the lighting and everything, but then you got families coming in and wanting to spend some time together. I mean, that was a great idea.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, we originally did it not for Out on Fifth, because we didn't know that was actually going to happen. What we did, and I said, the reason why we're going to do this, if we build a bar, is that a lot of people that ask us and hire our staff to come in and do a bar at their house, with COVID, people don't want you to go in their house, and we don't probably want to go in somebody's house just because you just don't know, and everyone's trying to be safe and have their own thing. So we know that the horse trailer, we could drive it over to somebody's house, drive it to your house, and drop it off.
Be a long drive.
In there, load it up with wine and beer and anything, and then work your party. And then it's so much easier, because the majority of catering, which I'm sure is having to clean up and get out of somebody's house and make it look the same. With this, we could lock it all down, have it on the truck, drive it all the way back to the restaurant, and then clean up everything from there. So it's really contained. People are like, "Are you going to do food?" I was like, no food, just alcohol.
You couldn't find your what were you using before, a trailer or just a table when you're doing the farmer's market?
I had induction cooktops and stuff, yeah, which we totally could.
Could have gotten a second trailer. Could have gotten like a 2-for-1 special or something.
Yeah, we bought a second trailer. We actually
You did?
Yeah, we did. We just bought one a couple months ago, where we're going to do the same, because they're getting ready. They just announced today that they're going to open up the Out on Fifth on March 25th, I believe, is the estimated date. So don't hold me to it. But they're saying March 25th, which I think is a little early because the weather, I don't know. But a lot of people don't care. They just want to get out, which is great. But
locals will probably be fine with it. If you have any tourists from California, they might not be used to it.
They would be like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. But we bought another horse trailer, which we're working on.
Same kind?
It's a little bit smaller, but that's the horse trailer that's going to be going out to people's houses for parties, because we actually really need the size. Because during Out on Fifth, we had two people mostly in a bar back working the horse trailer, because we're working both sides of it. So just crazy. So my neighbors are probably like, "What the heck? Why do you have Roost on a horse trailer?"
Well, especially on the cobblestone streets, like it had to be, I'm sure had to check to make sure that all the tires are looking good and the wheels and everything.
Yeah, but it's good. It worked out really well, quick in, out, and everything. So I think people thought it was a good idea, and it was fun, and people enjoy it. They love it. They want to hang out in the horse trailer. It gets a lot of social media love, for sure. So it has its own Instagram page.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to pull that up instead of just showing the pictures. I want to show everybody that it was actually had its own feed, its own Instagram page.
It does. So it's kind of tethered on to Roost, obviously, but yeah, it's Roost_liquid_catering for Instagram. So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go, right there.
Very cool. Very cool. So now you're the proud owner of 2 horse trailers. I bet you never thought of that when 2020 rolled around, New Year's, the ball dropped, and it was ready for 2020. You're like, this is the year. You're gonna get a couple of horse trailers.
Yeah, the Chinese zodiac, right? It's the year of the horse trailer, right?
Probably.
Right.
So what other? So that was it. I mean, in the world of folks that I've talked to and like pivots, folks have done to try to make things work, because it just, like, for example, here in California, restaurants were allowed to start service again outside yesterday, and not a lot of heads up on that. There was some rumors over the weekend that it was going to start again, because we've been closed for indoor and outdoor dining, only to go for the last 2 months. And a lot of restaurants are trying to gear up and reopen for this weekend. A couple were able to open and staff up for yesterday, or the day before. Monday was when we got the news. So some people already Monday night. But of everybody I've talked to, as far as pivots and being agile, must have been your time on the soccer field or on the tennis courts that just made you so agile to be able to pivot and do something different.
I don't know. It worked out. And I just got to say that it worked out. The timing of it, everything. We got people drinking wine with us, so that's great.
It's another chef that I interviewed last year. He had a restaurant and a Italian taco truck for a while, food market. I mean, it was public, so I guess it's allowed to say that he's the first that I know of, that he knows of, that did an Italian taco concept. And he took it to the farmers market and stuff. But yeah, he's another great Italian chef to know. Good guy. But yeah, so tell me about some other things that you did. Obviously getting a horse trailer is a big deal, but was there anything else that you did to kind of try to figure out some ways to keep things going that you want to talk about?
Well, we, just really kind of capitalizing on having that extra space, the dough room, and trying to, build that into a dining room from basically a production kitchen and stuff. So it looks great. It's really come forward. So people are in there right now. So that's good. So it's making money and stuff. So
did anybody take a picture yet of the floor to see how busy it is so we can show?
Oh no, not yet.
All right, no worries. But so yeah, I mean, great job at doing some things to keep things going and things. And it's Restaurant Week this week. Is there anything you want to mention for anybody that's local that they should know about?
We are going to have our Valentine's Day menu. We're doing a 3-course Valentine's menu.
Before we get to that, is there anything for Restaurant Week this week that you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, we have also all of our Restaurant Week menu is a 3-course set price, price based upon the type of entree that you get. And we're doing carryout, a lot of carryout, as well as dine-in. We had a packed house last night. We were totally booked, and we had brought somebody in just specifically to help out with the carryouts, and they were loaded up. So it's nice. You can get butterized squash arancini with sage honey drizzle, potato leek soup, long stem grilled artichokes. You could do. We have pork chops, scallops, filet mignon, all of it within a swordfish, all within the for the entrees, and then the dessert. We also have strawberry bread pudding with a brandy sauce. Our triple chocolate cake, which is beautiful, that has chopped chocolate espresso beans on top. Affogato, which is great. Gotta love affogato. And then we have a vegan banana bread with sea salt and a little bit of a honey drizzle there.
Very
so
cool.
we have a vegan item all the way through. And the other thing the change that we made, just to make everybody happy a little bit more, is that all of the items that are breaded is now all gluten-free as well. So yeah, gluten-free panko. We used to use our ciabatta. We used to grind it up and make our own breadcrumbs and stuff. But we actually switched to gluten-free panko, and a lot of people are very happy. So they can have the arancini. They can have, anything that we breaded pork chop like a milanese, or something. They can have all of that. So that's been a huge. Our meatballs are gluten free now, which people are like, please make the meatballs gluten free.
But not vegan, probably. My guess is not. Probably.
Good call.
Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
All right, so we had a little bit more wine. So is there a set price in Ohio or for Dayton for the restaurant week? How does it work?
It's basically everything ends in 21, so it ends in the year. So it's if it's $20.21, $30.21. So, and we're serving scallops and filet mignon. So we basically are like $30 or $33.21 for 3 courses. We also started, another thing is, trying to increase the value of our service. I should have one here, these little hand towelettes, and we serve you a little bit of water with essential oils. So when you come in, what I noticed was that when you go out to eat, you have all this hand sanitizer. Everyone's grabbing hand sanitizers everywhere, and your hands just smell like alcohol the whole time. When you come in, you sit down. We want you to smell the food because there's a lot of things to eat with your hands. So we have these little tablets, and you put it in the water and they bloom, and then you squeeze it, and then it folds out into a big towel, and you wipe your hands off, and then there's a little bowl that you can dispose. So now you're ready to go. Your hands smell amazing. They don't smell like alcohol. You're ready for food. And then at the end, as we used to have nice mints at the door and whatnot, can't do that anymore. It's not very COVID. So what we do now is we make in-house limoncello and basically go around with some glasses and to each table and say, thank you so much for dining. Would anybody like a little house limoncello? And that's how we end every dining experience. And people are they're so pleased with it.
So you start the dining experience getting rid of alcohol, and you end the dining experience with more alcohol.
Everything's full circle. It's got to keep it coming around.
Nice. I like the towelette idea. That's a good idea because a lot of people don't realize, how much smell is part of the experience. And so if you're drinking wine or if you're having food that, there's something abrasive that's going against it.
No, you're right here. Hopefully you're right down here, though. Right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I got my wine in my hand. Thank you for telling me about Restaurant Week because it's now. But yeah, I interrupted you. Tell me about, now that I got wine, tell me about Valentine's. What's going on for Valentine's?
Valentine's Day, we're going to do a 3-course meal based on 2s. So couples, people get together depending on just order 2 meals for 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of take on what's called a Manhattan cut steak. So we all know the New York strip, which is long and thinner. Okay, this is a Manhattan. So you got a big strip loin, and typically they cut it down, and it's about that long. With the Manhattan, you basically take the center cut of it, cut it down the middle, and you carve out basically New York strips that are the size and thickness of a filet mignon. And
are they heart-shaped?
What's that?
Are they heart-shaped?
No, they're not heart-shaped. We'll leave that to the pizza guys. But it does have that fat gap on the top, so you get a little bit of the fat, which people love. You get the look of a filet mignon, plus it's the center cut, so it's the most tender part of it. There's no veining or anything. So you get 2 really, really nice Manhattan steaks with sauces and some side items and such. We actually might be releasing some kind of luxury chocolates on our website to purchase. We're going to be doing some Batasiolo wine specials.
Oh, really? I love it. Nice.
Guy and the Barolo for order for Valentines.
Thank you.
It's great. It's great wine. I love it. And having an amazing Barolo on Valentine's Day, that's love, right? That's super love.
If it wasn't at the beginning of the meal, it will be by the end.
Exactly.
Between the food and the wine.
Right. But we have a 3-course meal. It'll be out on the website here in the next day or 2, and it'll be pre-order. They can pick it up. Basically a meal kit. We butter poach all of our fillets. So all they have to do is basically finish it off. And probably what I'll do is have either all instructions or do a video on how to do it, which would be great. and people just have fun with it. It's something, if people don't want to come out for Valentine's Day, they can kind of, cook the way that we cook in our kitchen, be a chef for a day, and people love to do that. Cooking and having wine and everything. What's more romantic than that?
So it's you're upgrading the game. Instead of Netflix and chill, it's Manhattan steak and Barolo and chill, and it'll be a much.
Exactly. It sounds so much better to me. But
I mean, of course. I mean, what? Yeah. And if they still miss that video experience, they get to see you teaching them how to cook their steak. So they get that aspect of it as well.
Yep. So we'll have fun with it. It'll be great. We're excited. We did pre-orders on our website for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and sold out both holidays. So we're just gonna keep it going. Keep it going every holiday. We're gonna do something when we get to more of like the kind of Memorial Day and Labor Day and all that stuff. Focus on more of like outdoor summer cookout kind of foods and meal kits and such. So turn
awesome.
to a hero for their family.
Awesome. Well, speaking of Valentine's Day, this brings me perfectly to the next topic I want to ask you about. I was curious, where did your chef crush on Scott Conant come from? You've mentioned that a couple of times. I've had meals with you, and just curious where that came from.
Not a crush. We've actually met a couple times. I think he might have been crushing on me. No, I'm kidding.
See that? I can see that.
No, he's just, he's on the Food Network. We've met a couple times. It's funny. I was at a dinner that he put on for a nonprofit in San Francisco, and he probably says this to everyone. This is probably his chef pickup line. It was, "Thanks for coming again this year." And I was like, "I've never even been here." And I was like, "Have we met before?" And people I was with, they were like, "Yeah, never met him." And I was like, "Maybe he knows me." And they're like, "Oh my God, get out of here. Like, you're crazy." But no, so.
Well, he's probably spent so much time on your social media following, your menus and everything else. It probably feels like he knows you already.
Yeah, no. Well, actually,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I got to give myself some props. When I was at the dinner, it popped up that Scott Conant just started following you. So there you go.
At the dinner.
When I was
while he was at the dinner.
We were just after the second course. It was a 5-course meal. Scott Conant started following me between the second and third course. And then
so you got the notification on your phone. You did a little look up. You try to lock eyes with them. You did like little, chef head
behind the pipe and drape doing his magic and stuff. He rolled out with his big stick is basically coming out with this big, huge Parmigiano Reggiano wheel that's carved out, and he does truffle risotto, pours it in the wheel and comes by tableside, and everybody thinks he made it in there. And I was like, it's fantastic. Because, you keep scooping around.
Yeah.
The only thing you're going to get is cheese. So you can't go wrong with that. So that was great. It was great. Super nice.
And it's lactose free because it's so, it's going for those specialty diets.
Everything. Yeah. I was like, when you're done with that, can I have it? He's like, no. I was like, damn. Okay. But no, it was great. It was a good time. So we'll see. We'll see if I ever meet him again.
Well, I'm sure. Well, I mean, otherwise you can. These days it's all digital anyway, so you just keep following each other on the gram and.
Exactly.
Zoom chef meetups.
Right. Exactly. That's funny.
Well, I know you're really busy tonight, so I just want to check in. And I know you have a lot of talented chefs down there to make sure everything's going well, but I don't want to keep you too long. Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet that you want to bring up? Your love of dogs, or what you think about what's going to happen for the future?
I do love my dogs. There's one right there, actually. Isaac. He's asleep. Isaac. Are you asleep? Come here. Come here. Hold on. Come here, boy. Oh, he doesn't even want to get up.
Oh, he had so much good food. Oh, there he is.
This is Isaac. You're on TV, buddy. Look, say hi.
You're going to be famous. Scott Conant's going to know all about you if he didn't before.
Yeah, Scott Conant's going to want to know if he can hire you for his... You okay? Okay, that's a good boy.
Long day.
He's tired. He's wore out. I think I just interrupted his 15th nap of the day. So, who knows?
Well, thank you for sharing Isaac. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. No, he's good. He's a good boy.
Well, is there anything else that we haven't touched on so far that you wanted to bring up?
How are your kids?
Doing pretty good. My daughter is just turned 1 earlier this year. She was a just pre-COVID baby, and my son's doing the virtual learning at home because schools here in San Diego are all virtual except for some private schools in some sub areas of San Diego. So, but he's doing great. You know, he's a techie kid, so he's done pretty well. And my daughter eats everything I cook her. She's pasta, pizza, meat. She's thrilled. Got to work on bring in some other flavors for the young gentleman, so he goes beyond just the pasta al burro. But as long as he likes Italian food, then I'm happy.
There you go. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Cheers to everybody.
Cheers. Happy Restaurant Week. Happy Valentine's Day, and hopefully we can get together in person soon one of these days.
Sounds good.
But I'm glad we were able to at least connect this way for now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef Dana. Appreciate it.
Ciao.
Ciao. Well, thank you so much for joining me in a little conversation with Chef Dana Downs from Roost Modern Italian in Dayton, Ohio. Super cute location. One of my favorite restaurants in Ohio. And that's one of the great things about this business is when you usually get into it, you start thinking about doing Italian wine in the United States. Everybody wants to throw you at New York, San Francisco, LA. But oftentimes I have the most fun somewhere in the Midwest or somewhere that isn't always on the beaten path for most people that think about this kind of stuff. And I always had lovely, fantastic, memorable meals with Chef Dana in Dayton and in Ohio writ large. So I was really glad to check in with the Heartland this month. And next month, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to broaden the picture a little bit and bring in some science and art. So I'm going to talk to a geneticist, a clarinetist, a chef that makes some amazing food pictures, and some others, and we'll talk about sciences and the arts and how it has to intersect with the wine world. But yeah, we'll catch you next week. Thank you so much for following. Be safe, be healthy. We're all going to get past this and enjoy. Have some great food at places like Roost. Ciao, ciao.